is up, guys? Geeks of the West here. How y'all doing? I want to talk about an article that I read, or some news that I read, which I'm pretty sure I've covered this exact specific thing today, or, sorry, excuse me. I'm pretty sure I've talked about this exact specific topic in the past in older videos. Not that old, of course, but I do feel like it is something recently that I've talked about, not, within the last 1 or 2 months, but I feel like I actually have talked about it. And the title of this article is, okay, you're gonna shit yourself. Video gaming is entirely beneficial for cognitive function, says new study. That is crazy. That is something I never would have expected. No, really, I would have expected it. Sorry, I'm being a little bit of a smartass. And the article goes on to read, using psychological and game-playing data derived from more than 3,000 European kids between the ages of 6 and 11 years old, a team of psychologists led by Viviane Kovess-Masfety from Paris Descartes University reports that playing video games is associated with lots of positive cognitive and mental health outcomes. In fact, more video game play was generally associated with better outcomes. Now, I wanted to talk about this because there's a stereotype that video games cause violence. Video games rot your brain just like they say that television does. And it's pointless, all you do is go home, play video games, and you're this awkward, geeky nerd. You have no life, or you lack social skills. You don't know how to handle yourself in social situations or social events. A lot of that type of thinking is what I find very common, especially with a lot of older people, or people that I've met growing up in high school, in this town that I live in, that a lot of people judge you for playing video games, but they won't admit that they play video games themselves. I've noticed this. A lot of the jocks that I played football with, I know in the locker room, I know that they play video games because we talk about it, especially on the bus on the way toward games. But when we're in the actual school environment, they never talk about video games because they try to impress each other and they try to make themselves like alpha male, And I believe, at least in my personal opinion and from what I've seen, my educated guess is that this happens at a lot of high schools where people don't admit to playing video games, but it's very common to admit watching a movie or going out to the movies. That's a really great date to take a girl, to the movie theater. I think it is, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking it or anything. I think it is a very good date to take a girl, especially the first time, or the second time you're going out, getting to know each other, and you're sharing that experience, seeing a new movie with her, whatever. That's not my point. But you have people who will admit that they maybe read a book or their favorite songs. I'd say books at a lesser extent, of course. You're still looked at as a geek if you read books. But if you play video games, people look at you like you're freaking nuts, even though most people that you go to school with probably play video games. And you have these studies after studies. Whether or not these articles are referring to the same study, I'll have to research further. Whether or not they do refer to the same study, it's still multiple articles coming out about findings in these studies, and there's so many studies about the same thing. It's just amazing and it blows my mind. Anyway, this is Geeks of the West signing out. That is my take on this news. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.